Alright, so I've just released a new book. You can grab it down below either on Gumroad for the PDF and the EPUB, or you can grab a copy on Amazon, and I've set Amazon to be no DRM, so hopefully you can download it off here as well. This book basically is, I first wrote it as like a health book, and then it was like, well, you know what? To be healthy, the ways that you do that is essentially just by perfecting the body and the mind, and eventually you have to deal with traumas and emotional stuff, and then you have to deal with spiritual stuff and physical stuff. And it's like, well, you know what, gaining perfect health is essentially the exact same thing as being in an enlightened state. So essentially the book is a manual on gaining enlightenment, so to speak, or the process of enlightenment. But otherwise it was centered around like a quick guide to health, just like, don't do these things, do these things, and you should be fine. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so here I have it in PDF form, and you can see this is the large table of contents of chapters and sub-chapters. The second chapter here you can see is talking about health, and the third chapter is talking about the body and its anatomy. The fourth chapter is full of meditations. So lots of meditations. Most of them are internal meditations. I have a couple of energy projection meditations, external ones that you can do with other people, or just practice with yourself if you want to do that. And then I have some trauma work here, and then we have physical practices, and I basically split this into, firstly you've got your basic or recovery exercises. These ones are for people who are very weak, or very maybe they have physical issues, and they need to help and recover themselves. And then we have the main exercises, which we'll go over, and then I just have some notes about other things, speed, massage. I've got some stretches. Then we talk about diet and supplementation. Then there's energetic effects. Then, of course, regenerative exercises. And so you'll know what that is if you read it. And probably the most important chapter is the Taoist internal cultivation, which goes through essentially the 3 or technically 4 main steps for enlightenment. And then there's just some sub-chapters on like Taoist, mythology of immortality, and then I just have a basic chapter on archetypes. So you get 130 pages, and it is illustrated. This book is meant to be pretty much straight to the point. It's very quick. It's very, do this, do that. This is how things work, etc. What I mean is that I want you to get the most out of this as quick as you can, and I want you to be able to read this as quick as you can, ideally in a couple of days. But of course the exercises will last you, as long as you want, right? Like it took me 10 years of meditation, exercise, all that stuff to be able to, get to this point, right? And to be able to write this. So a little disclaimer and a copyright thing, basically just to, because it talks about some pretty full-on techniques, and people who are like very severely ill could damage themselves and all this. And it also says, this is not a replacement for proper medical care or doctors or anything like that, because the book originally was based around health. So let's just go through some things. Internal and external body. I like this one. Looks like a puppet. You got the joints there. You got the upper and lower organs, and there's a couple pictures like this. You've got all the systems of the body. It talks about the lymphatic, the circulatory, the urinary, the nervous, and it also has nervous system relates to air, the 5th element of electromagnetism, and related mostly to lightning and Mercury. Or you've got the skeletal system, related to Earth, Saturn, kidneys, or spleen. So it talks about some more esoteric stuff as well than just generic whatever. And we've got meditation. Of course, the most basic meditation is just to sit. It's Zen void meditation. The next most important one is body scanning, and then we've got gathering exercises, and I've got a list of major areas. So like the legs strengthens and helps recovery, the feet relaxes and grounds, or the lungs helps to breathe and clears the mind, the heart helps with circulation, heating of the body, the eyes clears up and helps vision. This is like if you focus on these areas, right? So these are focus points of the body.
And I've also got the dantians, as we can see here, and we've got the chakras. So, you know, for people who like the chakras and dantians, people who just want straight organs and parts of body, you know, whatever you want, these are focus areas. And then we have tonification. So there's lots of different stuff. I've got some really cool exercises, you know, externalization of energy. So we've got a few on that. This book, it doesn't go too deep into all of these. It gives you kind of like an early to intermediary. You know, I could have gone heavier on the energy work exercises, but the problem is the book's idea is on health, and externalizing energy and doing like high level energy work is actually not that great for your health, because you have to use your energy. So, you know, and then we have emotional practices, you know, talking about the different emotions, healing traumas, which is very, very important. This is the old school yin yang meditation. And this is like it's kind of similar to like Mopai, for people who know that. There's some pretty hardcore stuff, so I include it at the end, because you don't want to do this one if you're weak physically, or you've got like heart problems or whatever. It could actually be your kidney problems. It's very bad for you. But I've included a couple of really strong exercises, so you know, you will get some money's worth out of it. So there's like horse stance and all that. As we can see, eye exercises. So this is just the basic ones. You can skip this. But for example, you've got focus on an object and stare at it. Don't train too much, but don't be too relaxed. You're allowed to blink. Do it for a couple of minutes. Practice this with near objects, middle range, and long range. So you've got a few, you know, eye exercises, eye stretches, etc. And this is like basically the whole thing. Like people who have neck issues, you know, this will help, some things like that. But the real exercises, that one, the grips, the 3 grips, you'll have to look into that. It's really, really important. And then for upper body, we have 3 for the front, 3 for the back, because bench press and rows are essentially the exact same exercise. And we have the variance, right? This picture is a little better. Some of the pictures, I'll be honest, I think having a picture is better than no picture. Some of the pictures are rough, I will be honest on that, just because I used a smaller setup to make them. But, you know, I think the pictures get the point. Like, this is a bent over curl. Sometimes I think they call them kickbacks. I think the point is pretty obvious, especially when it's, you know, to perform it. Hold your dumbbells and bend over. Start with your elbows bent and hands near your shoulders / chest, near the end point, like the end point of a regular curl, right? So it's like a curl, but you're in the curled form. Now push out the hand to be able to feel the back of your arms. You know, push and tense the back arm muscle to do this motion properly. Pretty simple instructions, I think. Really push them and straighten them out. There you go. And then pull the weights back into the arm position, and then do it 12 times 3 times, 12 times 3 reps, excuse me. We've got a picture, so I think it's pretty obvious what we're trying to do. At least it is for me, hopefully it is for you. And then of course we've got the other ones there, and we talked about stretches, and we've got a bunch of nice little stretches, etc. Diet, so basically, you know, again, just it's simple instructions. I'm not giving you a meal plan. I'm not giving you a supplement plan. That's not the point of it's not the point of the book. You know, the book is basically to get you to generalize good enough health for the point of the enlightenment process, right? Which means avoid excess flavors, like you know, avoid the excess flavors, which is, you know, spicy food. You can eat spicy food, it's fine. Just don't go overboard. You know, salty food, same thing. Don't go overboard. That's all it's saying. Don't go overboard in the sweets, the sours, bitters, because they all affect an organ. But, you know, and I say, you know, spicy food clears the brain, increases metabolism, salty food strengthens the body, and so they all have effects. Basically say it's easier to get energy off carbohydrates rather than protein. Of course, protein is important, but the point being is that, you know, if you really want to budget everything and you really want to get a lot of energy, because at the end of the day you need a lot of energy, just eating a whole bunch of carbs is a lot easier, especially if they're good carbs. You know, if you get like unrefined ones, be fine digestive wise. We talk about foods, mineral supplements, and for herbs I do give you a list. Admittedly, for minerals I give you a slight, basically like the 4 major electrolytes: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. There you go. really calcium and magnesium and maybe sodium and like, so potassium if you got like heart or chest kind of issues. But honestly, they like, these are fine, they are brilliant for you. And if you want to take something here, you go ahead and do that, depending on what it is. And again, I don't like to supplement for too long, and I talk against animal supplementation. It's up to you. You know, organs are fine within certain ranges. You do have to be careful for organ meat, but you know. And then I talk about like electromagnetism and how it affects you. And I talk about the different forms. So we've got electromagnetism, we've got electrostatics, we've got magnetism, we've got plasma, light. You know, like different types of lights produce. Light only produces a subtle effect, just like sound, but it is still a important part of health. It should be. And excuse me, I did edit this book twice, but I guess there are a few tiny little mistakes. Excuse me. I believe me, I went over it with a fine comb, a very fine comb. So I made sure that this book is readable and like 99% readable. You shouldn't have much of an issue. If there are small issues, I'm very, very sorry. Different types of light. And really the main important chapter, I think, is this one. How many people will actually get to the end and read it? I'm not sure. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you check it out and you check the end out, because this is really, you know, this is the chapter, right? I talk about difference of men and women, because sometimes they say like women can't cultivate spirituality. I believe they can. It's just because women are more yin, so they have to be kind of careful not to like deplete themselves. Men do as well, but you know, it's just different. And then we have the 4 stages, and each stage has, for example, this is like, here's a picture of the first one, second stage, and then the third stage. You know, I've talked about this stuff in my videos, and we have a nice little very I thought it was kind of a good picture to show the merging of everything. I was going to draw something with like electromagnetic fields, and I couldn't really get it going well to like show the internal experience, but I think this is like, it almost looks like everything's blending and it's like one thing, the gray. So I don't know, I like it. I think it's good enough. And finally, I just have a nice little thing on the archetypes. So anyway, if you would like to financially support me, because as I said, I will keep this channel non-commercial and all that, and all the stuff on like most of the stuff on my website and whatever, but I do want to start up some online business and get some online products and all that, because I want to make some money, let's be honest, right? I don't really like writing books. I'll be honest, this book was painful to edit and painful to draw the pictures for. The writing I didn't really mind, but just editing is like excruciating. Maybe I will get the AI to edit things, but I don't know how, you know, because you have to like declare if you use AI and all that, which for this I didn't actually. I felt like I could have made it way better if I did use AI, but then it's like, will I get sales? So I don't know if I'll make books or too many books, you know, like every so often, every so often, but books are really kind of exhausting, to be honest. So I don't know if I'll do that, but otherwise, yeah, basically just have this channel advertise certain little businesses and things every so often. And if you want to, you know, financially support me and get something nice from it, then please do. So anyway, if a book that centers around health and has a bunch of meditations and physical exercises, and then pretty much has the process to enlightenment and the greater and lesser union with yourself and the world, if that sounds interesting, then please do grab it down below. I have the 2 links. You know, either if you want the Amazon Kindle version, which, as I said, you should be able to download the PDF if they made sure it's right. You should be able to, you know, get a copy of that and then download it so you have a personal edition. Or on Gumroad, if you want the PDF and EPUB, you know, download that and just save a copy. You can print off a copy or whatever. And if this gets enough attention, then I can release a physical book for it. It should only be like, what, like $12 or something? I don't know, it shouldn't be much. Otherwise, it is for $6 American, which hopefully, and you can also, on Gumroad, you can get 40% off depending on your nationality. Actually, I think Amazon does it as well, so you should be able to get a discount on either. So, it's affordable for you. But anyway, please do grab a copy, and I really hope that it helps you and it's good enough. If it's not good, you tell me in the comments, tell me it's not good. If you do like it, then, tell me it's good. Otherwise, you can leave a reply or a review, whatever, as long as you're honest about it, But otherwise, I think, it is what it is. Like, the book literally just has the process of enlightenment and such, and how to basically just fix up the body and well, it's right in there. Like, do you want to read a bunch of other books, or do you just want to have 131 pages of condensed information for it? So, it's your choice, really.